Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me in today's pick a card reading. Today, we're going to be really focusing this reading on your love life in particular, and I really wanted to tap into what your angels and your guides really wanted you to know at this time when it comes to your relationships and how you can deepen your connection with your person. So we have 3 decks here in front of me. I will show you a close-up of each of the crystals. Keep in mind that these are general readings designed for all signs, and some of the messages that come through, some may be channeled and some may resonate with you and some may absolutely not. And at that point, it may be a prediction or it might just not be for you at this time. So please be gentle with yourself. Tune in, see if it resonates. If it does, then fantastic. If it doesn't, that's okay. We'll just move right along. If you are brand new here, well, first of all, thank you so much for coming by. I'm so glad that you are here. My name is Meshi and I'm an intuitive reader and a healer, and I do general readings every single week. So sometimes we talk about, sometimes we channel some messages, other times we really talk about how we can use the law of attraction, how we can use intentional tools in the most beautiful way so that we can manifest our best life. So if that sounds good, you might want to stick around. I'm just saying. Okay, let's take a look at your crystals. Group number 1, here is your beautiful rose quartz. Again, if you haven't seen this before, this has little specks of citrine in there, which I absolutely love. Next up, I believe that this is a zebra jasper, representing duality of all things. And last one, we have a pyrite. Perfect. So group 1, 2, and 3. Take a moment, take a deep breath, and connect to which one you're resonating with the most, and let's get started. As always, timestamp is down in the description as well as in the comments to kind of keep your life easier. All right, let's move you guys over here. Okay, so if you have picked the rose quartz, then this reading is definitely going to be for you. So let's see what your angels really want you to know. Music. I think that you are going to, it's almost as if you're going to be getting like signposts, you're going to be getting intuitive messages that you need to hear through music. So whenever, just pay attention to some of the songs that you're listening to, because some of the lyrics will definitely resonate, and I think that it will resonate in a way that you will feel it viscerally. Like if you find that certain songs may bring you to tears, or certain songs and certain lyrics, like it will really stand out to you, because those are the messages that you really need to hear, or you really didn't want to hear up to this point, but you kind of need to hear it. Sorry about the glare, guys. I'm trying to adjust. There we go. So pay attention to music. I think that Spirit is going to be connecting with some of you through music, and also take a look at how you can also shift your energy through music. Music is extremely powerful, as most of us know. So definitely pay attention to see what's kind of coming up through music, because you either have messages that you will need to hear through music, or the other thing that might come up for you is that okay, so a couple of things. Keep in mind, if you have picked rose quartz, then definitely something deeper is happening within your relationships, that it's almost like, because like as you're watching this, we're like a day after the full moon. So keep in mind that emotions might be running high. So perhaps music will be like that, soothing your soul. It's going to be the way that you can kind of rebalance yourself. See in what way it will manifest in your life. Miracles of nature. Thank you, angels, for helping me reconnect through nature and fresh air. I think that some of you really need to spend some time on kind of getting out of your head, but also getting back in touch with all of the elements, getting back in touch with all of the things that are sort of around you, because it's like you can get really stuck in your head sometimes, and I think that has the potential obviously to ruin your relationship or to just kind of create obstacles that really don't need to be there. So reconnecting back to the present moment, reconnecting back to what's in front of you, reconnecting back to nature is going to be very important for some of you. And it's going to be also, it's almost like it's going to be aiding the healing with that connection that you have with your partner. Keep it simple. I think that some of you are really trying to overcomplicate things or make this grandiose connection, or you're thinking that in order for you to have a deep connection with someone, it needs to be really complicated or it needs to be really intricate. Like there has to be like these many different layers to it in order for you to feel that chemistry with someone or with your person, or in order for you to go a little bit deeper and create that true intimacy. I feel that some of you are really keeping things complicated when really it's not about what you do, it's how you share the energy. Old souls use words very sparingly, except of course for I, love, thank, you, wow, now, and cool. Wow, I love you now, the universe. P.S., which sounds much better than wow, now I love you. Sequence is important. So here's your fun little message, but I think that what's actually coming through here is to keep things simple, to not really overcomplicate things as you kind of go through your days, because you can create deep connections. You can tap back into that emotion at any time, right? Like it's a choice, but I think that you can create the ideal circumstances around it. So that part is up to you. And put the phone down. I think some of you are really caught up with what's happening online. I think that you might be a little bit too distracted. And I think that it's time for you to kind of tap back into nature, tap back into sort of your surrounding rather than kind of like living the digital life. Well, I think that, you know, and obviously I recognize and respect the fact that you're watching this online, but I think that there's something magical that you're creating space for when you can spend some time outside and reconnect back to not just nature, like not just seeing all the things around you, but connecting back to your true nature. And maybe your true nature will kind of come alive through music, right? So it could just be that maybe you just listen to a song with your friend, or you listen to a song with your person, who knows? Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. So first we have the Hanged Man. I think that right now it's almost as if you're trying to balance too many things, you're trying to juggle too many things, but I think it's also that you kind of need to gain a new perspective on how you're approaching this relationship. I think that sometimes you kind of get caught up with the what's not working rather than just seeing in all the ways that things are working. And a lot of that just has to do with shifting your perspective, right? And like, sometimes that's all we actually need. We keep thinking that we need these grandiose gestures and we need to be all that there is, instead of really just remembering who we are, what we have to offer, how much value we have in ourselves, and what are the values that we're looking for in other people, and actually recognizing it when it shows up. The Knight of Pentacles. Maybe it's time to send that love note. Maybe it's time for you to take that action, to take action towards manifesting this connection. I feel like it's almost like you're waiting for them to make a move, you know, or you're waiting for them to constantly be thoughtful or constantly kind of meet you where you're at, or like think of like creative and unique ways that they can create a connection with you. And when that doesn't happen, then you're sort of left. It's almost like you're setting these unrealistic expectations and you're scrolling through your phone and you're kind of thinking, you know, well, why isn't he calling? Why isn't he texting? Yeah, too much screen time is making you awkward and sad. Go talk to a live person. I think that well, for one, I think that there's tons of wisdom here, but I think that when it comes right down to it, if you're constantly checking if they message you or not, when you know that, you know, during the day they are working and they're more focused on what they're doing than on messaging you, I think that you just have to kind of create some space and create your own practices, and know that when you create space for someone in your life, then you're giving them the opportunity to come through in whatever love language that they are using currently, right? The other thing is that, like, just instead of thinking that you need all the things in order for you to have a happy relationship, like you need to go on a shopping spree, you need to do this, you need to do that, focus more on ways that you can kind of preserve all the things. And that doesn't, I don't necessarily just mean like physical finances. I actually mean energetically, because I think that sometimes that can also, when your mind is pacing and you're looking at all the ways that you guys can spend time together and all the ways that you can spend money together, and maybe going on a shopping spree or a day trip or this or that, when your mind goes down on that rabbit hole, it can feel like nothing's ever enough. And Spirit is really wanting you to just kind of dial it back a little bit, keep it simple. I think that this is going to be like the center of your entire reading, is just to try to keep it simple. Stop trying to overcomplicate things and think that in order for you to have a happy and healthy and balanced relationship, you need all of the bells and whistles. Because when you start building a deeper connection with someone, that actually doesn't cost you any money, but it costs you energy. And when you're vibing on the same frequency, that energy, it comes effortlessly. And last but not least, with the Four of Pentacles, really lock things down, really like keep things in the safe, put it away, don't even look at it, whether we're talking about your money or we're talking about, you know, this to me is also sometimes kind of feels like you are the only one that should have the key to unlock that safe, that inner safe, that's part of your psyche, that's part of your inner world, right? And honestly, have your guard dogs around you, whether that means that energetically you're setting up these boundaries around you, or you literally just have a guard dog so that, you know, people don't rob you. I think that this goes a little bit deeper than that. I think that when we're buying all the things, when we keep thinking that who we are and what we are, as we're showing up into these connections, into these relationships is not enough, I think that you need to really like just dial it back, connect with the simplest things so that you know that you're okay, you know? Because when you do that, it just becomes a lot simpler. I'm trying to position this in a way that it doesn't glare at you guys. I'll just hold it. So I think that when it comes right down to it, it's very simple. You need to connect through music, heal through nature. So spend more time outdoors, keep your activities simple, whether you're doing it with someone or by yourself. But I think that when you take the time to kind of connect back to you, what recharges your own energy, then you show up as a totally different person within your relationships. Whether that's your professional relationships or your friendships or your love connections or your twin flame, or, you know, it's your husband, basically in all of the relationships. So if you kind of keep that in mind, that it's not always about spending the money, sometimes it's about actually spending the time and spending the energy and showing up with those positive energy that can take you so much further than just spending the money for the sake of spending it. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm all for a good old-fashioned retail therapy, but I don't think that that's what you really need right now. I think that you really need to connect back into nature so that you guys can create that connection that may feel like it's lost right now. This is all I have for you, group number 1. Stay tuned until the very end, because I will be pulling a few extra cards that you can use to just like kind of recalibrate your energy, which is what we're all about here. So let's go into group number 2. Okay, group number 2, here we go. Here is your crystal once again, nice and close up. So first and foremost, when it comes to the crystal, let's talk about that for just like half a moment. I feel like to me, this is all about like these zebra jaspers, they're all about the duality, all about the balancing, but also all about the shadow work and acknowledging the aspects of yourself that aren't so great, or perhaps aspects of your partner that aren't so great, and actually embracing them and really looking at it from a place of love rather than a place of, you know, disgust and hate and all of the things. And here we have the rock, endurance. So what is it that you're enduring? What is it that you're building upon? I feel like you're really setting down roots with this person. I also feel like you're definitely, perhaps it's you that's the rock in the relationship. Perhaps you are sort of that foundation that kind of holds everybody together. You're the one who can kind of create that harmony within the relationship, within your connections, because you are sort of solid emotionally, mentally, physically. Like you sort of have a way of being with this person that, you know, that just feels really harmonious to you, but also it's creating almost like a safe space, right? And your angels are reminding you to take a leap of faith. I'm ready to take a leap, angels. Thank you for doing it with me. Just knowing that whatever you're thinking about taking it's almost like you're afraid of something, or you're contemplating on something, and you're really in a process of sort of manifesting like that next step, that next level, right? I feel like you're looking to perhaps take things to the next level with this person. Whatever it is, I think that just knowing that you need to lean into your faith rather than, and maybe perhaps like look for a sign. Maybe this is your sign. You watching this in itself is a sign. But I think that you're really looking at, you're really asked at this point to lean in to your faith and actually take a chance on someone, rather than feel like, you know, you need all of the perfect circumstances for it to be perfect. You know what I mean? Because there's no such thing. And do something new and something different. So I think that these two are absolutely related. I think that perhaps you have been contemplating on something completely different, or you're contemplating on taking a chance on someone, and it's sort of like you're not sure if you should go for it or not. You're not sure. You're sort of kind of playing around with the idea of, yeah, I definitely feel like this is a new person coming in, to be honest. Maybe it's maybe it's at your job, or maybe it's in your circle somewhere. This could actually be not that you're the rock, but that person represents that stability that you've been longing for, you know. This can go either way. I feel like this is more the person that you are longing for, or the person that you're thinking about creating this connection with, or the person that's already in your life, but you haven't thought of them as the love connection, as that deep, you know, soul connection. But definitely you're reminded to and look, here's your message. Ever notice how it's easier to fall in love and be fallen in love with when you're busy? Thank goodness. I am you, the universe. I think that it's going to be through, perhaps maybe it's going to be through the doing. Like you're going to try something new, and through trying something new, you're also going to have the opportunity to meet someone new who is going to be the foundational rock for you, and who's going to really accept that shadow side of you, right? And then here, something is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or just quit. So your message here is loud and clear that something is going down with your work, with your career, with your occupation, with whatever you're doing. Perhaps like you're going to need to lean into your faith on that, or you need to take a chance on someone. A couple of different things are happening here. Let's see what the tarot has to say. So first we have Five of Swords in reverse, which is all about really asking you to, like, it's almost like you're being pinned against the wall. You know what I mean? It almost feels like you're asked to, well, ultimately you kind of feel like you might not have a choice, or it might feel like, I don't know, emotionally I just feel like you feel attacked. You know what I mean? And then we have the Hierophant in reverse, which I think that you've just been, perhaps you're you're not really, it's almost like you want to just kind of retrieve and not really deal with any of these things, because it's easier to just kind of go into hiding, go into hibernation mode. Oh, I didn't even realize that I pulled this many cards for you. Then we have the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups energy is, with the Nine of Cups, I just feel like you're definitely just wanting that variety. You're wanting that, it's almost like that inner balance, that inner feeling of bliss, like all of the things where you're just like calm and cool as a cucumber, but it also kind of feels like you have like this nice variety of balance around you. You know what I mean? Like you have this nice variety around you. You have beautiful things around you, but emotionally it just feels like nice and chill and content. And with the Two of Pentacles, I definitely feel like you are sort of, it's almost as if you're trying to balance both aspects, and maybe it has a lot more to do with your, maybe there is two people that are sort of seeing you, but it could also be that you're trying to kind of create that balance between your work and relationship. I just kind of feel like you definitely need to make a choice of like who you want to be with, and how does that person make you feel. You know what I mean? Because one person is texting you and they want everything immediately, and then the other person might be more diligent, and they're more about, okay, let's set up a time for us to meet at this time, and it's going, and you know, it's almost as if you're kind of like, for one, I feel like with if there is two, I don't know, like I kind of feel like there might be two people here. Ooh, look at you. Feisty energy going on. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which is all about just you working on your craft, you creating and really honing in on really what makes you happy, honing in on your hobbies, honing in on all the things that you keep on working on. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like you're looking at alternative ways. Perhaps you are looking to create, like, I don't know, I feel like you might be creating like a secondary job for yourself, like a side hustle. But then through that side hustle, you're also going to be obviously meeting new people, even though you kind of just really want to retrieve, and you're going to be sharing your gifts with the world. You're like, this really feels like, it feels very calm, very soothing, very much like all about just like looking at like all the things that, all of the possibilities, right? Like all the possibilities that are kind of available to you, like perhaps a getaway. I don't know. I just feel like this whole thing kind of reverts back to this. Just knowing that no matter which way we are going, you need to do something new, and you need to take a leap of faith. Like I feel like these two are absolutely related, with doing something new and taking a chance on someone. But I think that it's almost like you need to take a chance on yourself, you know? And I also think that maybe this rock is all about you. It's not about this other person, this is about you. I think that you knowing and reminding you, like the angels are telling you that you are that rock where you can pretty much live, even like, I mean, if you're kind of looking at all of these rocks that are stacked, right? So all the rocks are stacked, but then you also have like, even then you can set down roots. So just knowing that you can pretty much make it anywhere, and you can be that base foundation for yourself through just the fact that of who you are, you know what I mean? But I think that you might feel stuck. You might feel like you're pinned against the wall. Perhaps it's something to do with your work, and you're looking at alternative ways of creating that balance and harmony for yourself. I'm trying to move the card so that it doesn't glare into your eyes, guys. But I also think that perhaps you're going to be really moving into a direction of creating something online, and then that's going to be leading you to other adventures, perhaps more traveling, or really just creating a name for yourself, and then that's going to essentially bring in other people that are just more in alignment with you. And I see that as a positive thing. I see that you absolutely need that, even though what you really want to do is just to retrieve back and go back within, just kind of go back into hibernation mode, go back into hiding. I don't necessarily see this as hiding. I definitely see this more as, just longing for that inner quiet. And I think that maybe it has a lot more to do with your work than we thought, or maybe the relationships that you're cultivating is going to be changing because you're going to be changing your job. I don't know. I just feel like this kind of comes back to this 9 of Cups energy of just like being content, and like she's home. She's got like this beautiful, beautiful space around her where everything just feels like so tranquil and so balanced and peaceful. But I think that you're definitely going to be getting some messages, and you're going to be getting something is going to be going down with multiple people where you're going to have to create some balance, right? I definitely feel like, and I think that the way that you're going to need to create some balance is literally just create some boundaries, because some of them will want to be around you immediately, or they really want to grab your attention immediately, right? Like I'm definitely getting this thing of, but like, no, like we need to get together as soon as possible. We need to see each other. And it's almost like they want to like hoard your energy. So just kind of pay attention to like, okay, with each of the interactions, how does it make me feel? Right? And then what is it that I want to be working on? Because what I would like to really do is to hone in on what's going to get me further down the line of what's going to actually create more abundance in my life, but also more fulfillment, right? What's going to bring me more joy, more fulfillment? Who do I need to be with? Who is making me feel like I can really work on my own thing? They can work on their own thing without really needing me without being needy and overbearing, right? So that's all about like doing something different that you haven't done before, kind of breaking out of your own little shell. And then that's going to probably take you places that you haven't really thought of before. This is all I have for you, group number 2. This was an interesting twist that I wasn't expecting. Stay tuned until the very end of the video, where I will pull a few cards collectively as a group, and that you can kind of use as guidance. So let's go to group number 3. Okay, group number 3, here is your reading. Here is your crystal once again. Let's take a look. Here's your beautiful pyrite. This to me is all about abundance, all about tapping into the law of attraction, but tapping into letting everything that needs to flow to you effortlessly. So let's see how that all relates to your love life and what the angels actually want you to know. Speaking your word, using your voice. Yes, 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 yes. So I think that you're about to really come out of your shell and really letting your voice heard, letting your own truth come out, letting all that there is that has been bubbling inside of you to really come out and play. Whether that's really speaking your mind, truly what you think on certain topics with people, and with the people that you're in relationship with. Like perhaps you've been, I don't know, I just feel like you have been playing it very small, and right now I think that you're about to kind of change that a little bit. And here you're reminded that you have the miracle of prayer. Archangel Sandalphon. Thank you, Sandalphon, for delivering my prayers to heaven. So you actually have Archangel Sandalphon that's kind of helping you, which is wonderful. I think that it's like you're praying for something. You're praying to manifest this relationship or this love in your life, but and this is your confirmation, that just knowing that it has been heard or it is being received, right? I think that sometimes you kind of forget that we need to kind of lean into our faith a little bit more often so that we can actually manifest what we truly want. And enjoy your extraordinary uniqueness. Do you know what you've created? No, besides an intergalactically known saunter named after you. Inspiration in the eyes that have watched you, hope in the minds that have admired you, and love in the hearts that have known you. But you might ease up on your sachet before someone gets hurt. Not bad, kiddo. Not bad at all. Enjoying what makes you very unique, and by doing that, using your voice and letting your own unique way kind of come through is going to be key when it comes to manifesting more love and more abundance in your life. And I think that I think something's about to kind of go down when you're going to need all the support around you. You're definitely going to need all your people around you that can kind of help and guide you through whatever changes. And I think that that's sort of where not only your prayer, but also using your voice, finding your own inner voice that rings true to you is going to be very important. And then we have the Four of Cups, the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Okay, so a few things are happening here. Here we go. No glare. We fixed it, kind of. Okay, so first we have the Four of Cups, which is all about feeling like you're looking at the variety, you're looking at your options. It's almost like you're looking at your options and you're trying different things on. I feel like this is definitely going to be like a new relationship, or you're trying new things with your existing relationship. Like, yeah, like I definitely feel like you're sort of seeing like, let's try this out this week. Like it's almost like you're trying new things. And I think yeah, I definitely feel like you're trying out new things, see how they fit, see sort of how you can kind of spark things up, how to kind of switch things up. I also feel like it's like you're getting good news, but you're also, okay. So through trying all of these different things, I think that you're also going to be receiving some good news. Whatever good news is. And I think that that's going to be like that bullseye. That's going to be like that thing that kind of brings it home for you, you know? But then the other part of it is that we also have the Four of Swords, where, I don't know, like this just feels like you need to take some time, because I don't know. Oh my gosh. Is this like a Friends episode, like a Rachel and Ross moment when we need to take a break? Ooh, this should be interesting. Maybe you do need to take a break. You know, maybe you do need a break because you kind of had enough of all the crap that's going on. Something that perhaps hit it right in the heart, right in the center of things, like something that just like these are absolutely related. Like with the Ace of Swords, like getting to the heart of things. It's like a new beginning, but like you need that new fresh perspective. And in order for you to do that, you need to kind of chill out a little bit, which is interesting. But like the only thing that I can think of here is that this is related. You need your people around you, because like shit is about to get real. Something is definitely happening where you will need to rely on your faith. You will need to rely on prayer, because something is about to change. Something is about to change, and you need to use your own voice and your own discernment in order for it to protect you. But know that like through prayer, you can actually call in your guides so that they can kind of help you through this. But I think that one of the most helpful things that will help you right now is simply praying, is using prayer as a way for you to connect deeper. Interesting. Just know that I think that the biggest thing is here, like the center of all of this, besides using your own voice and really seeing like what else is out there, is to enjoy your own uniqueness, because you're not going to be for everybody. You're going to resonate with certain people, and certain people will absolutely repulse you, and you will be repulsive to them, or you will be triggering to them. So I definitely feel like something got triggered up here, but I also feel like it's going to be a good thing. So it's like, this is all I have for you, group number 3. Stay tuned until the very end, where I can pull a couple of crystals for you guys so that we can kind of use that as guidance. So let's go. Okay, you guys, we have made it to the very end. Each of the readings were very interesting, with like such a different twists and turns that nobody was expecting. So let me just see what you guys can use as far as guidance from Spirit for crystals. What can you use? Okay, so first up we have a garnet, which is igniting your passion. And we have Sunstone. Take pleasure in the things that you do. Tap into what your passion is, but also tap into what makes you passionate about people around you. What makes you passionate within this relationship? What is it that you guys are doing together? Why does that light you up? These are some of the questions that you can kind of contemplate, because honestly, I think that for some of you, you're definitely feeling like a lot of things are shifting and changing within your relationships. So returning back to like really what made you feel, like what lit you up about this person is going to be very important. And also taking pleasure in the way that you spend time together, taking pleasure in the way, like finding those little hidden treasures within your relationship is going to be key, I feel, at this moment, at this time. And obviously, if we're looking at the current situation, they use the full moon energy for you to kind of not only tap into what is lurking beneath the surface, but how can you really bring more light, and how can you bring more passion and more joy into your relationships. And if you're manifesting a new relationship, well, then more power to you, because looks like things are about to get heated up, friends. And I'm not talking about salsa dancing. Maybe I am. That's all I have for you. I hope that you have enjoyed this reading. I hope that it has resonated. You already know what to do. Just send all the good vibes my way. You can hit the notification bell. You can subscribe to the channel. You can like the video. You know this already. I don't even need to tell you. And just keep shining your light, you guys. And I will see you guys again in my next video tomorrow. Bye.